Welcome back everyone, Phoenix 3 here, and we're going to do some more Pokemon trading card game online. I know it's been a little while because I've been actually doing coverage of Pokken Tournament. You can still expect more. I'm going to be working on that video tonight as well. But in the meantime, we're going to do some Pokemon trading card game. I'll probably go with my legendary bird deck. Just because like the first match is always completely random and I have a better chance of winning with this deck. So let's see what we get here. Loading. We have a Psychic Dark Water deck. Seen this typing all too much. I'm like super tired because I stayed up all night working on projects. So I can't even think about what really this deck is. But I guess we're going to find out. Waiting for him to decide. Taking a mighty long time to decide whether or not he wants to go first. Well, it looks like we're going to have an inactive player as the first game of the day. Maybe not. So I'm leading with Moltres against my opponent's water Pokemon in the deck, and my hand is pretty bad. So it looks like we're playing a Darkrai Yveltal deck with Garbodor. I'm not sure if I want to play this game. I mean, I really just don't want to fight against Darkrai Yveltal. I mean, I fight against the deck so much. It's just not even fun anymore. I mean, sure, I could probably pull off a win, but I mean, I just don't want to play the deck anymore. Alright, so we got a grass psychic deck. Not sure what this is, but we are going to choose to go first. And I get a mulligan to start, and another mulligan to start, and another mulligan. Oh my goodness. I don't think the hand can get any worse than this. My opponent is going to +3 and I don't even have an N. That's usually how that goes. So what is going on? We got a Virizion deck. I suppose I can Ultra Ball. Get a Moltres down. And then I can play the Juniper. Let's do that. Let's discard. Well, I'm gonna discard the entire hand anyway, so we're gonna grab the Moltres. We're gonna put that down. We are going to super rod our fairy energy back into the deck, and we are going to Juniper. And I'm gonna grab another Spritzy. The bad thing is I'm not going to have any energy. I'll play the Zapdos down. I'll play Xerneas down as well, and we'll see what happens. Maybe my opponent ends me, and I can get some better cards here. That's very unlikely. You know, it also sucks that I drew into a hand with no supporters, so this actually might be the end of the game right here. Because knowing me, I'm just going to draw dead from here on out. My opponent did go first, so he's going to have the advantage when it comes to getting up energy and attackers first, so I'm probably going to lose my Spritzy right now. I mean, this is probably just going to be a bad game. I mean, I didn't draw the ideal cards I needed, and I'm currently left supporterless, but my opponent doesn't even have an energy to attack. But it's not like it matters because I don't even have an energy to attack. So I should probably just bring something up to take a hit. I really don't want to have to sacrifice my Spritzy if I don't have to. So we're going to move this energy up. Play the Fairy Garden. I want to say the Starling Megaphone. We will retreat for Zapdos, and I will end my turn. Probably should have moved the energy off Spritzy. That's just a brain fart on my side. Completely forgot to do it. So it looks like my opponent doesn't have anything, no supporters. I mean, you would think when you have a +3 card hand before you even get to draw a card, you might hit something. But I've had situations where I've like drawn like 5 or 6 mulligans and didn't get anything off it. And would either have to Juniper that huge hand away or end it back into the deck. You know, it's not something you really want to do. But, you know, sometimes you have to do what you want to do with the game. And the thing that I really don't like about, like, Pokemon right now is the fact that you really can't play conservatively. You have to play all your cards when you get them. And that is annoying. Because I don't want to have to dump everything just to probably do something. I'm going to send... I'm not going to do that. I'm going to send Xerneas up. I mean, there's really no risk of it getting knocked out. In the event that he does manage to attach an energy, switch back, and knock out my Pokemon, I don't want to lose my Pokemon with the energy. And this is the reason why I held on to the Starling Megaphone, because I had a feeling he might just go ahead and put the G booster down. And if he wants to waste a supporter trying to get it back, he's going to have to what's the name of that card? Shadow Triad. So there's an energy on Virizion. So it looks like he didn't hit the Chorus Machine that he needed. Oh man, he's in a driver's seat now. So he opted to not play N, so that's bad on my end. I mean, he didn't need to. He knew I didn't have anything. It's just unfortunate. This is probably going to be the end of the game for me. So my turn again, and I get another energy. I will put this on Spritzy, I guess. Try to keep the damage off of my other Pokemon. I'm just going to go ahead and move this energy out. I guess now that I think about it, I could probably go and just start attacking with Moltres. I am also going to Starling Megaphone because I don't want any shenanigans with that. And we'll Destructive Flame for 50, hopefully hits. Awesome. So we're going to take this thing's energy away and put 60 damage on it. I wish I had a Muscle Band because I could have dealt 100 damage. And I could be looking at a 2-hit knockout versus 3. Even if I get a Muscle Band now, it'll still be a 3-hit knockout. So yeah, I'm not getting the best of turns here. This is already my second turn going without supporters. Next turn coming up is going to be my third turn, probably without supporters as well. It is kind of painful when this happens. You know, a possibly good game turns into a bad one, and my opponent ends me. So this is good. So what I am probably going to do is play the Skyla for a Chorus Machine. Hope that my last Plasma Energy is in my deck, because I only play 2 Plasma Energy. And hope that I can start knocking some things out here. So my opponent really didn't want to play that in, but it looks like he didn't really have a choice. I was eventually going to draw into something. So if I play Chorus, I can go into a 6-card hand. I think it's probably better for me to just risk the chorus machine and plasma energy being in the deck, so I can start taking some knockouts here. But I'm probably going to have to take out this Virizion. I actually don't mind the this card being in play, Skyro Bridge, because I can still retreat for free. So I was hoping we could get a whatchamacallit here, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So there's a chance my opponent could have that Shadow Triad. I'm probably still going to make my play though. I wish I had a what's the name of that card? I really wish I had. I can't think right now. Oh well, let's see. We will do what I said I was going to do. We're going to Skylift a chorus machine. First, I'll make sure the plasma energy is even in the deck. So it's not this way. Okay, so my plasma energy is not even in the deck. So what do we grab? Scoop Up Cyclone is good. Muscle Band is good. I'll probably take the Muscle Band. It'll be good for just trying to get some damage on this here. I can put 100 on it. I'm going to play the Skarmory down, just because Skarmory is a really good attacker for cheap especially. So we'll do that. I'm going to max potion though, because my opponent only needs a muscle band and he can do the additional 120 damage he needs to knock me out. So we're going to put this here, move the energy back. I mean, I really hope he doesn't manage to get a G booster off next turn. So I'm just going to hit for 100. We get Tails. But it's not that like the Tails really matters, because he can still retreat. So I just gotta hope he doesn't have a Shadow Triad, or this game is going to be over. So there's a Skyla. So there's his supporter for the turn. So I'm glad for that. I just gotta hope he's not grabbing a Shadow Triad. I want to see another supporter besides that. So at least the good thing is I get to keep my hand. Shadow Triad. Oh my goodness, there's a Shadow Triad. And the bad thing here is I lose energy. I will lose at least 2 energy. And energy in this type of deck is very precious, and I can't afford to lose it. I really wish I had an N right now so I could take that out of his hand. So there's nothing I can do to take away his the G booster option. Only thing I have to do is hope he doesn't have an energy. I should probably just take the 2 prizes with Moltres. I mean, it's the only Pokemon I have in play right now that can take it. But then again, I lose any other options that I have to effectively come back into the game, because I won't be able to deal with that G booster. Okay, what's the correct thing to do here? I just need to deal 70. I need a Pokemon that I can attack with. But I don't have any Pokemon that can hit hard. I mean, I've got Skarmory. I could Tailspin Pile Driver, but that's 3 energy. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save my Moltres. I think at this point in the game, Skarmory is more beneficial to me than Zapdos is, so I'm going to send Zapdos up. I'm going to move some energy around here. That should be a rainbow, and that's good. I'm going to make the attempt to try and take away his G booster. I have N in my hand. I'm gonna see if I can get rid of it, because if I attack now, I lose my Moltres, and then I pretty much lose my only option of dealing with these Genesects. So if I can trick him to bringing up his Genesect, putting a energy on it and putting the G booster down, then I can deal with it with Moltres. Or if I can get him to attack again with Virizion and he doesn't play the G booster, then I can hopefully try to end it away. So he's playing that Shadow Triad for the G booster. Does he just play the G booster? If he plays it down and attacks, I'm gonna knock out the Genesect that's on, and I would effectively get rid of a Pokemon with 3 energy, and he would have knocked out a Pokemon with 0. So this is exactly what he's doing. So I am going to end these cards out of his deck. I'm getting the feeling I should probably just scoop up Cyclone, the Moltres. That's what we're going to do. I don't want to rely on a max potion here. So we're going to scoop up Cyclone, the Moltres. And we're going to play it back down. I'm going to play my Muscle Band. I'm going to put a Muscle Band on Skarmory as well. And I'm going to... Well, I mean, I know for a fact my Chorus Machine or my Plasma Energy isn't in the deck. So I'm just going to go ahead and play it so it's out of my hand. And I'm going to end my opponent. Okay, this is better. Let me see. How many energy do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I will go to 5 energy. I could put this one here. I could probably attack with... Skarmory. 1, 2, 3. I need to have enough energy and play after the attack though, just so I can do anything with. And everything here requires 3 energy. Like, there's still a chance my opponent could have the G booster. But I mean, I guess we'll just go for it. The only consequence here is I lose the game if I call this wrong. So we're going to bring you up. And it's a good thing I got this Fairy Energy, because when it gets knocked out, I will only lose a Fairy Energy and a Prism. So I want to keep the Rainbow Energies just because they're better to have in the deck. And we're going to knock out the Virizion and hope we can maintain this game. As a matter of fact, as a tech option, I was actually thinking about putting in Spiritomb, the one with the ability to prevent Ace Specs from being played. And the only reason why I was going to play with that was because of the fact of G booster. Like it's too good. In turns like this, when you're staring down a G booster, a possible G booster, it's very crucial. And G booster can lose you games, or it can win your opponent games, just because they were able to deal a big 200 out of nowhere. So I get end down to 4. My opponent just drew a lot of cards, so I have to hope my opponent doesn't draw it. It's looking pretty good right now because my opponent would have played it. Doesn't have a Skyla. And I still have I have a Starling Megaphone now. So I guess saving that in and my Moltres for the next turn, it looks like it's paying off. So basically what I want to do is get a bunch of energy in play. So it looks like my opponent's going to energy switch, probably move an energy off of this active Genesect and move it to another Pokemon, probably just Drifloon. And it sucks, like, this game has so much discrimination going on towards special energy. Like, I have to worry about that being the Derail Drifblim. So it looks like my opponent is giving up this Genesect here. So hopefully if I can top deck a Lysandra, I'm going to take out the one on the bench with the 3 energy and the Muscle Band. And the reason why I keep removing this 50 damage off of my Moltres is because he does play Muscle Band. And only thing Genesect has to do is attack with Megalo Cannon, deal 100, but the Muscle Band deals 120, which would be enough to knock out my Moltres. It's kind of like perfect math right there. And you all know I don't like dealing with perfect math. So I take a Megalo Cannon. Well, whoa, okay. Okay. I'm fine with that, I guess. Well, I guess I'm not fine with that because I don't have a way to heal my Moltres. But I have to knock this out right now, though. I can't afford to. I can't afford to leave it up in the active spot. But if I do knock it out, I'll lose 4 energy. If he can knock me out next turn. I mean, that's kind of a big deal. Because anything can happen with this Drifblim. Because I believe the Drifblim has the ability where attacks cost 2 less energy for each Plasma Pokemon your opponent has in play, and I have 2. Alright, we're gonna attach Rainbow here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 energy in play. I can knock out this Genesect with Moltres. I mean, at this point, it does me no good in retreating it to the bench, because if he has a Plasma energy, he just drags it back out. So I think we're just going to have to bite the bullet here, or eat the bullet, however that saying goes. And we're just going to knock this out. I mean, there's always a chance my opponent can't return knock me out. I mean, at this point, my opponent has to bring up the Genesect because it has the energy to retreat. If he wants to retreat. Or he's going to bring up the Drifloon. So we're about to find out what's going to happen here. I also don't want to see an N come down, because like I have a lot of good cards in my hand. My opponent has played 3 N already, so there's a chance my opponent plays 1 more. I only play 3 N in my deck, and I've only played 1, so I know I have 2 more. But at this point in the game, I don't want to see an N come down. And my opponent plays a Professor Sycamore. So he's just, so yeah, my opponent did have plasma energy, so I'm glad I didn't decide to leave the Moltres there. So I hope this turn works out for me in my favor. Muscle Band goes down to Drifloon. Doesn't look like my opponent got much of anything. I mean, if he had an Ultra Ball, he probably would have dropped it by now. If he had the Drifblim, he would have dropped it by now. So yeah, that turn where I actually saved my Moltres for the end, that was a pretty big turn in this game, because I took away my opponent's G booster, and that was a big deal. Alright, so my opponent can't attack if he has a switch. If he has Warp Point, then I just bring up probably Xerneas, or I'll bring up Skarmory since it has one retreat and can get out of the active spot with the Sky Arrow Bridge. Ideally, I would just like to top deck a Lysandra here. I can end the game right now. I will just take out this Genesect. Oh, I forgot Sky Arrow Bridge. Alright, so this here is going to be an issue. I'm going to lose my my Moltres. I'm going to lose 4 energy as well. That's going to hurt. 20 is probably going to go on Zapdos. I mean, I suppose I can still win the game if I draw Lysandra, because I'll just Tailspin Pile Driver to Genesect EX and knock it out. So 20 on Aromatisse. I'm just going to bring up the Skarmory, because there's a chance I can win the game off my top deck. And I get an N. I can end my opponent down to 4. I go down to 2. And I have a lot of cards in my hand I can possibly redraw. I mean, I have to play it. I don't want to see my opponent top deck a G booster here. But my opponent only has 6 cards left in his deck, so there's a chance I can give him one. I guess we'll find out. Playing the Megaphone here doesn't matter anymore, because if my opponent does have it, then I get knocked out anyway. But I know for a fact my opponent, well, I don't know for a fact my opponent doesn't have it, because he was able to knock out my Moltres anyway. Is there any other Pokemon in the deck I can possibly want? I mean, nothing else I can put down. I mean, this game is going to have to come down to a Skarmory. So I'll play the Zapdos, and I will end. And I will retreat into Xerneas. And I'm just going to hope for some luck here. We'll break through. Put 60 there and 60 on Virizion, or 30 on Virizion. And I just got to hope my opponent doesn't have it. So there's a Drifblim. Shadow Steel times number of energy in your opponent's discard pile. How many special energy? Oh, okay. Okay, that could be a problem. I have 4 special energy in my discard pile. Oh my goodness. Talk about clutch. Okay, so what do I do here? I mean, I don't think I can do anything else. He got rid of all my energy. That's the game. That is just... that's stupid. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to do. I can't win. It's just hard to maintain energy because like all these decks just want to knock you out in one hit, and you really can't do anything to avoid that. I mean, 200 damage is like the ultimate fuck you in this game. It's just like, what do you do against it? I mean, nothing walls it. And with G Booster, you really can't rely on strategies that say basic or EX Pokemon can't damage it because it just goes right through it. And it looks like I'm having another bad start here. So we are playing against a Flygon deck. I think my strategy against this deck is to try to lock the Flygon in the active spot with Articuno. I'm not too sure. My opponent does play Tropical Beach. I'm just gonna try to get some setup here. I'm gonna save my Fairy Gardens though, because when the end of the game comes, I actually want my stadium to be the last one in play. Here's a Hawlucha. So there is a stadium coming down. I am going to lose this Spurtsy, which is unfortunate. Oh yeah, and I just ended myself into a hand with no supporters, so that's going to be bad too. I mean, if I don't have to worry about Sand Slammers, then we're good. But I don't think this here is going to be a Sand Slammer deck, because my opponent is playing with basic energy. So there's a chance this here is the new Flygon. So we're going to attach Muscle Band there. I'm going to end, play you, play you, play you, and I'm going to go into Stadium Wars with this guy. I'm actually going to move this energy to my Skarmory, just to prevent shenanigans again. So at least I drew a supporter for my turn, but it looks like it's not going to pay off because I don't have anything here. So what do you do? Tail Smack. There actually might be a chance I can lock up. I can put something in the active spot. There's a... I actually want to see that card right now. I could really use it. I take 50 because of the ignoring of resistance. I can Joust. $60. I mean, he can't knock me out. I have 70. I have resistance. But this is actually doing 80 minus 20. I mean, well, he could possibly knock me out. Who here has a big retreat cost? Okay, we're gonna Lysander up. Probably this guy here. And I'm gonna take a chance. And we're gonna random Spark Lucario. If my Zapdos lives, this will be the only turn I will do it on. So there's a supporter from my opponent that's not a draw supporter, so we should be good here. I'm not sure what my opponent's playing though. Like what Flygon he's using. Is he using the new Flygon or the Sand Slammer? So basically I just did that so he has to attach an energy to retreat. And this here is kind of what I didn't want to happen, because I can't use Tailspin Pile Driver, which would be enough. Well, not really enough to knock it out. But we will retreat into you, and we will do some Fairy Transfer shenanigans. Put some energy up, and I will Joust. I need a supporter. I don't know, maybe I should just reconsider my supporter lineup. I mean, I do play with enough supporters, but it's like, you know, when you have hands where you draw 4 or 5 supporters, it's like I only need 1, maybe 2. Then you have hands where you don't draw supporters and you're like, I wish I played more. You know, it's kind of absurd when you have to play like 16, 17 supporters in the deck just so you maybe have a chance to see one. And I mean, I could lose right now. I could Ultra Ball. This thing has 100 hit points. I don't think I have anything that can deal 100 damage though. Especially with the energy I have here. If I would have had a colored energy, I could have been good. But I am going to I'm thinking this might be better to keep the Keldeo. So he can do 140. I mean, he needs a bunch of cards to knock Keldeo out in one hit. But I also have Articuno, who resists and can get a 2-hit knockout and deal 10 to everything. So Tailspin Pile Driver is pretty much good. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're just gonna grab Articuno. I mean, that's probably the best option. You know, Xerneas could do it too, but I need a 4th energy, which I don't have. I mean, Articuno is probably the best option I have available to me right now. Because Lucario can't knock me out next turn because of the minus 20 resistance. He needs a lot of cards to do it. And Lucario can pretty much return a knockout. So we have Gliscor. The defending Pokemon is now poisoned. The defending Pokemon can't retreat during the next turn. Yeah, this is bad. I mean, I've missed 2 turns of supporters right now. Probably 3. Yeah, this is bad. I mean, I've drawn like this all 3 of these games. Well, 2. And I don't wake up. Okay. I'm about to lose my Articuno. I can't believe this is happening. I mean, I guess I can. I can believe this is happening. Who am I kidding? I mean, I know I can beat this guy. But it doesn't matter if you don't draw supporters. Evo Soda. So it looks like a Flygon's coming down. Skarmory has 70 hit points left. Zapdos has 20. Articuno is about to go down because it didn't wake up. So this here is Sand Slammer. I need a supporter. That's just what this is coming down to. I need a supporter. I need a top deck of Juniper right now. Or my last end. Seeing the end would be better because I couldn't put my opponent down to 3. I go up to 6 and hopefully I can draw out of this. But I've got nothing. I mean, this is bad. This is where you don't want to be. If any Pokemon is now poisoned, then if any Pokemon can't retreat during your next turn. I can knock this out with... I can't knock it out with anything, actually. I can knock it out with Zapdos, but then Zapdos gets knocked out by... probably Gliscor. You know what? We'll bring Skarmory up. See what happens. I need a supporter right now. That's not the one I wanted to see, actually. I'm going to have to attack with Zapdos and hope. I mean, Scoop Up Cyclone at least lets me get rid of all the damage on Zapdos. Hawlucha can't attack me. Gliscor can't deal any damage to me. I wish I could see my opponent's like discard pile to see if he plays with like any muscle bands. But I mean, if he has the muscle energy, then that attack knocks me out. So maybe I just grab my last end, send up something that's not Zapdos. I mean, because at this point I have to assume my opponent has strong energy. Or I could just knock out the Lucario right now. Take a max potion, heal Zapdos, and just take the Lucario out of play. I mean, I really don't want to give my opponent another prize. I mean, we'll go that route. I'm gonna hope we grab a supporter out of... Doesn't look like we got any supporters in the prizes, but I need to attack. I can't afford to not attack. And we'll just take the Lucario out of play. Oh my goodness, that's good. That's good too. All right. It's unfortunate because I had to discard my Keldeo, so I can't move. I won't be able to move my Zapdos out of the active spot. I still have Scoop Up Cyclone, so there's that. But I need to get my Keldeo back. Because being able to move out of the active spot when I need to that's what's gonna allow me to win the game. So taking a chance on that max potion actually paid off because I got the Juniper out of the prizes. That's probably the one thing that went right for me this game. So hopefully I gotta hope other things go right. Ideally, it'll be like freaking sweet if I top deck the Super Rod. So that's another reason I wanted to heal the Zapdos, because if he would have had a way to get the 20 energy or the 20 damage, I would have lost my Zapdos and I would have pretty much went down. So we see a Sand Slammer, which I'm actually kind of fine with. If I draw a max potion, then Skarmory can knock out this Flygon in one hit, and that's where I want to be at. So I need to hit a lot of cards here. Okay, I got my max potion. That's what I wanted. So we're going to max potion, and we are going to retreat for Skarmory. Oh, I was hoping I didn't mess that up. I was like, where did I put that energy? I guess the energy's safe on Zapdos. And we will Tailspin Pile Driver since this has damage from the Blizzard with Articuno. That's the reason I did it, because I want to be able to knock these Flygons out in one hit. and I have my scoop up cyclone, so I can move Skarmory once. Ideally, I would still like to top deck a I'll select top deck my Super Rod. So I want to put that Keldeo back into the deck so I can put the Keldeo down, because this Poison Ring is going to make it to where I can't retreat and I'm stuck in the active spot taking poison damage, and that's not what I want. So a lot of things need to go right for me here. I believe they will. I mean, getting that Juniper off the prizes was kind of a big deal. Energy on Gliscor. Plus, his Gliscor is a weak to water. So I guess the card I want to top deck right now is Skyla. Because Skyla's going to let me find my Super Rod. And it's going to let me put my Keldeo back into the deck. So my opponent is using the Night Slash. So probably Flygon's coming up. Or maybe not. But what did we get? We didn't get the card I wanted. I mean, there could be an odd turn where Halucha comes out and do something. But I have my I have an Articuno. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna discard the N and one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. I mean, supporters are good, but the max potions are also good, and I need my energy. So I guess we'll discard the Juniper. And we will take Articuno. I'm going to attach this Rainbow Energy to Zapdos. It's already got damage on it, but I'm going to retreat the Skarmory, because the Skarmory is what's going to let me win this game. Between Articuno and Skarmory, I can knock everything out in one hit, especially his Stage 2 Pokemon, those Flygons. So I'm going to move both these energies here and this here. We're going to move the Rainbow Energy to Aromatisse and this, oh, that Plasma Energy. Oh, that energy is good there, actually. These things are weak to water, so we're just going to go ahead and knock this out. I'm not going to play a supporter, because if he locks me in the active spot, then I can scoop up Cyclone. Then I could play a Giant Chorus. Oh, there's my Super Rod. It was in the prizes. So, I mean, I really don't think there's anything my opponent can do here. You know, between Tailspin, Pile Driver, and Blizzard, I can deal 140 damage. Or 150. But having damage on all my opponent's Pokemon lets Skarmory hit hard. I have my other Max Potion. So I will Max Potion the Skarmory. And then I will bring it up and knock this out. So let's see if he decides he wants to lock me in the active spot. So I think he's, no. He wants to do what he's doing. So we will put this energy here. I will Fairy Transfer. I will Max Potion. I will Super Rod. He'll put these three back into the deck. I will retreat into Skarmory. And we will do what we're doing again. I mean, I think at this point, I locked my opponent out of the game. I'm going to keep the Scoop Up Cyclone just because it's still good to have. And we're going to Tailspin Pile Driver and knock out. So I go down to 1. So yeah, I had a huge comeback. Like, playing that max potion, like playing the Skylar for the max potion and not a supporter, that paid off like great, just greatly. I was able to get the supporter off the prizes, and that just turned the entire game around. I went from drawing like shit to having a really strong hand, and that's the way that this deck here wants to do. You want to have a constant stream of supporters, but you want to hit the right cards at the right time. I know people don't want to play gimmick decks like this, but I like playing gimmick decks because when they work, they work. So my opponent just does his attack, and I'm going to attach an energy down, and I'm going to tailspin Pile Driver and knockout. So that was a amazing comeback for me right there. This here is going to be the last game I'm going to play though. I've got some other things I need to be working on. I got the next Pokken tournament video to make, and I've got some stuff I got to do for my brother, and I've got some homework I kind of want to knock out. So if you guys like what you saw, leave comments, like the video, and subscribe. There's going to be plenty more Pokemon content to come in the future. I found a webcam sitting in my closet somewhere, so I can try to do some videos of Pokemon X and Y, do some Wi-Fi battles. I would like to get battles with actual people, because I really don't like the whole bring 6, use 3, because my teams don't really function that well in a format like that. And I guess that's all I got for you today. So I will see you guys later.